on the Atkins diet, blood for carbs. I'm a chaos phoenix, reborn again, programmed militant, like a golden million SS-18 Satan as a person. Corporations as civil forfeiture, ornamental furniture. Fascism's complicit. Because of fascism, capitalism grows on this globe. We'll program even our own to counter the leftist foes. Man, daughter, eyed, and bonnet. Diethyl-eyed, hide, law me while you lie on the ground through teeth that'll never speak. Programmed to deliver you at the command of the commuted man. I can. I'm their mistake of their mistake. I have some misgivings from their missed takes. Thanksgiving for their mistake. I'm more than they'd ever imagine, more than they can take. A white tiger for these Black Panthers, party crasher of the party of God, called at the restaurant of slaughter. Party of God, party of slew, canter to give the heirloom of the daughter, nor motherhood to birth femininity any longer behind national lives. I've been programmed to bew, so lie all, throwing fits in the court halls. My great mistake, the tiger did take more than what's at stake. The lie we weave, we must achieve fait accompli. C4, I star. Bugliosi will deliver the lead. System of system to the Son of Man. Failed here, should have seen. But the success, let out the can, assured to be. America bless God. In America, God doesn't trust. We must assume God trusts America. Deism is at schism, creationism, fundamentalism, extreme derision. America's foundation twists to a trigger. The gun is more a fascist symbol than a symbol of liberty. America, bless God. Deism says God is separate of this government law. We, the people, must bless this God. No thoughts nor prayers, but actions and meditations. God's separate of this creation. If I'm Lincoln fighting the Civil War, I must bless God, free the slaves, and so much more. You speak like an ibis, but walk in grace as an ibis. Intercontinental missiles, misses wanton to rouse a spouse. Speak unlike this ICBM. It was more like an intercontinental bowel movement. Oh no, they're gathering biometric data from my shit. This is it. Vanilla ice cream really blows my mind. Black Panthers will have blown minds too. It's just Charlie of the Chick-a-Lot factory, a never-ending hoary, counterinsurgency sex tactics. LSD is our ID, we're one family. Who framed Roger Smith with a rabbit in the hat? Ribbit a bit, would you? To caught in cold blood with knives. Whitson nor Watson, no son of man Wilson. Charlie doesn't command. Charlie doesn't order. Agent Smith commands. Agent Smith orders. I put on my linen, then it's a given. I have to murder now by the command of God. I'm smitten. You're stricken. He tells me I gotta give him a worse than death threat. Through me it's written. I wear the linen. God commutes my sentence, not just wishing. I put a period to the run-on sentence of wickedness. Sullen East is my name, and there's nothing jolly about what West has done. You tried to use Latah to make me believe I was Charles Morrison. Jim Douglas Manson is even who I am. You removed my identity in paper and in squishy flesh. I will always be Jim Douglas Manson now. One of you must know who I used to be. I will figure it out. All roads lead to Rome. All Romes lead to tyranny and fascism. ARP at the HAFMC. You know what I mean? Amphetamines and LSD. You'll answer for the plausible deniability. My ID is LSD. I became one with the family. Now I'm on speed. Rats in a vat. Modeling violence through amphetamines. Slaughter and raped mice. What a thing to see. Doesn't matter. I'm one with the family. I'm on speed at my wits' end. Wilson sung. Haven't you to caught on yet? It's Hairman without the goring. 169 times OCD from speed to caught taught me knives and glee, catch and release. No need to flee. I'd rather fight on the speed. A rose and Al Rose that was exposed. Al Rose has a thorn just like every decade has its dawn. Al Rose has a thorn. Was it some plausible deniability that I said? Did the ARP file get stolen in the night? It cuts me just like a knife. I guess that's why every Al Rose has a thorn. Wage of capitalistic delight. You go gentle into your good nights. Wage for the neon light. The Advanced Amphetamine Research Project is also projected to be the retirement of the government. AARP in every sense of the word. Now we know what all the talk of the white powder in the White House was really about. AARP in Washington, D.C. The White House is our HAFMC. You know what I mean? Worse than death swarms as the locust, for the locust of the end of this cusp bought and sold trust without any oxytocin, betrayer of the people's trust with the trust of fiat decree, fiat accompli, accomplished, missing the mission while in missionary position with dogma barking sickness, is a success like a recess in our children with not a playground for the worse than killing floor. Worse than the lies that die with an F that's DTF. Worse than the lies that die with an F that's a DTF. Down to worse than fall, nurse the gall. Put the F into the mouth of lies. Eat the testes of patriarchs as matriarchs cry. Worse than lies that worse than die in this life. Down to worse than fall, a nurse of gall. Tasty to this patriarch millennial ball. Slippers of a polypharmacy harms you and me. Worse than death falls them to their knees. Cinderella is worse than sleeping on a bed of worse than lies that die into her comatose. Awakened by the kiss of the patriarch's bullet with a clenched fist. The way the man says hello to the woman says she must reply with worse than goodbye. Cinders to tell ya what befell ya. Cinderella is a sleeping beauty dreaming of dwarves. Awakened to ash and the patriarchs to cinders. Up in time for the end of patriarch bathroom party. Putin pulled a Trump card. I pulled an Einstein. Better not put in if can't put out. This Ukrainian war cry. Neo-Nazis bout of sickness out. Headless monster paperclip fallout. Lack the clout. Pull sanctions out. Russians were bio-preparated for that. Genome Institute, billions down the hatch. Lifetime commitment to the life sciences unapplauded. I got my platinum billion. The fool's gold billion better be on watch. Cold War, below zero, frostbite's culture body. Operation Blowtorch. It is back to basics. Biological war in the shadows. Nationalist capitalism thrown liberty to the gallows. Zelensky liberty elegy follows. More death to wallow. Transubstantiate this hate to not the fate of toxic love. A communism of fascists holding just that communion. The blood wine of human violence, the bread wafers of our conditioned patronage. Those dying are the body and blood of the fascist Christ, given up in the name of nationalist capitalism, given up for the end of liberty, in aplomb guise for stupidity, freedom with hostility. For the last night of shattered glass, their last supper is our flesh. A vessel of violence for the resurrection. Neo-Nazi death squads line the streets, unfurl their flags and flurry bullets. Einsatzgruppens not ersatz. Zircons no Zion. Hit and runler from greed, whether capitalist or commie. Nationalism makes us bleed. Whether capitalist or commie, nationalism makes us bleed. You can mine the Black Hills, but eventually the hills will mine your minds. finding there never was any gold in your mind. Just a black Olympian mountain with a Roman fortress for the guy in the sky. I am sucking the teat of white buffalo calf woman. I am in the devil's tower with some devil rocks for touching more than a single blade of prairie grass. These spirits have no knowledge of this forgiveness, but all the wisdom of its trickery and deceit. For taking the life of my people, shall you then become subservient to my people's way of life, and assist them now to live well? Then might you live well alongside us, Wasichu. There can be no table for those of you whose blood is mixed with genocide, and whose minds cannot decide to sustain the native lives. All this technocracy and its technology is Akil Ya, the shaman sagely putting prairie grass into the mouth of the Wasichu. The black snake came from the angel churches, not any devil's tower. The snake I worship doesn't need to build. The snake which transforms all life is not dark, but creates tiny, usually imperceptible light. Shall it be that I take you to concentration camp 244? We'll put in the paperwork that it's a 404. A new type of fascism is born here from the worse than death of the Oyate into the Wasichu's Christian slaves. Wakipi Wanagi, they'll say to me after programming with me. Near fatal alcohol withdrawal with some forced ayahuasca. Line them up against the wall. Break all the whiskey barrels in the hall. Let them smell the poison. Then over the spirits of this land we call. They can then see who is not there to tell them their way of life isn't anymore either. Angry spirits of this land grabbed the tranced Wasichus by the hand, educate them to understand. Wakipi Wanagi, their people will suffer endlessly unless they follow me. I'm Native American Captain America, but the other side is Red Skin Skull. Which flip of the coin is how you decide to play ball? I'm going to what y'all call Devil's Tower, 'cause that's how this day makes me feel. Lie to yourselves about having held my people at gunpoint. Happy Thanksgiving. We all give you the price of the Black Hills. Is that acceptable? We wanted to give you thanks. We're the EP Save the A, here for the 25% tariff today. Where's the money hid away? You gotta pay your way. Like a highway tollman of Bill Langer, nationalist capitalist hunger to linger here all the longer. These the bones you'll wager. We're the EP, save the A, here for the 25% tariff today. Where's the money hid away? The auditorium was vast and forested. The Wasichu were not afraid to touch each blade of prairie grass. The audience sat and stared in silence by a giant bonfire. Above the circle screen of the movie of the Rainforest Theater stood vacant. All audience members will eat their popcorn and remember the Oyate ancestors. When the show begins, slowly, languidly, they will drink the opposite of whiskey. An amendment was just a commandment in the book of God. The loophole was the key to open the unseparated church and state as person Serengu with no synagogue. The glue to the lacunae of the spineless wrote the lines to jeopardize countless female lives, murders on the doctor table from the votes of the people, from the politicians on their steeple of peepholes. Womanly autonomy won't just resign to a matricide in a land of lies, where liberty lies dead unnecessarily, a life lost to another family for their pro-birth, won't lay in the grave and just lie. A profit for profit, a tariff over here, a tariff over here. Everywhere a price increase. Everywhere a price increase. The billionaires resound. The millionaires resound. Asses, we asses, all suck it down. Asses, we asses, all suck it down. Assess, we asses, all suck it down. Eight, the words to the book of face. If the love does not wit of plausible deniability, you must acquit. Too nationalist capitalist to quit. If it doesn't profit, it's not worth it. Not see drowning, not see drown. Oh, you mean Nazi drowning. Not see drowning. Oh. Neo on the Nazi pin the tail on the elephant that doesn't remember it's dead. Remember it's dead. Remember it's dead. Pledge to your obeisance for the Nazi political science. Nazi political science. Nazi political science. Too nationalist capitalists to quit. If it doesn't profit the rich, then it's not worth it. If the love doesn't wit, then of plausible deniability you must acquit for the trust to get. But too nationalist capitalists to quit, too nationalist capitalists to quit. They told me I was going to be interrogated again today. Took me to the back room again, chipping my brains, recording my thoughts on the screen. I'm thinking it's waterboard torture, but the drowning's getting worse. Lex talionis, the Christians went against the eye for an eye of the East. Rex Talon, this, a Damnocles of the West, got me on my knees, law and order at leave, chaos and disorder at ease, falling to the ground, drowning, suffocation, body quivering, But I remember he's not a Nazi. As the waterboard execution ends, I see myself in an ice bucket, drowning and freezing to death, hanging between the words on my mouth of what they need to know left out my mind. The screen express, I thought it was just some torture, not the forfeiture of my life. I'm stuck in this ice basket case for the rest of my death. Burns in my veins, fire to the ice, feels like my veins burned alive. This is vain. Injected me with LSD and something new, didn't you? So Christian, of this orange Simpson of a prez. Pentobarbital, what's that? I'm falling against the wall, spinning to the fall. But that ice bucket drowning in water, endless fall. I remember he's not a Nazi. The voice of God is telling me an ice bucket drowning. I remember he's not a Nazi. The voice of God is telling me. La ta da, la da dee, la da dum, fee hi ho sum. What has the government done? LA to da, la da dum, fee hi ho sum. What has the government done? La da da, la da dum, fee hi ho sum. What's the government done? LA to da, la da dum, fee hi ho sum. What has the government done? La da da, la da dum. The fee, the high, ho, sum. What has the government done? Look at your game, patriarchy. Man, it's nothing like the game of my girls. Look at my girls' game, man. An eye scan for an eye. What do all the ladies say? For the man, oh pause. To the men, oh applause. With no applause. Can I get a standing ovulation ovation? A signal of your solidarity of womanly autonomy in the face of tyranny of a patriarchy. They, the government, their men applause. But me, I'm a man pause for these femininity denying laws. Just like they made it look like some Black Panthers killed a White Panther, and it killed the Rainbow Panther. Yeah, my identity is that I'm nobody, but I'm gonna make it look like I'm a big somebody. Gonna make it look like somebody killed the White House, but it's nobody, no one at all. I am that Lenin you cannot crucify. I'm nobody. That's no one. Who made it look like somebody, who someone did it. My identifiers are nobody, and no one. Economy is their number one voting concern, yet still I have yet to discern this economist in chief we turn to the polls to vote for only the Electoral College earn. College keeps appropriating funds. Feds keep changing interest rates, but your number one interest is still rated late to be the economy related to Prez. While a hurricane hits Florida hard edged, still find immigration a greater concern. 90% of crime is from American citizens, but we can put a Nixon in the 10%. Make this 90 be part of its represent. Operation Chaos against the immigrant. Supersized Happy Meal storms of nature keep hitting you harder and harder. Immigrate and saturate the Wasichu fate, yet stupider and stupider die longer and longer. Ever the more to forget, you always were the immigrant to the mother nature here. Took all you wanted and more, now you're paying dear. This way of life ends here. It's more of an economic bubble than some capitalist bubble bath, with product plenty to task, someday to be at lack. Without a healthy ecology, the wage of your economy fails to keep to task. Resources once vast, now lack and surpassed. Never kept this ecology healthy, but vote economically for the executive's capitalist seat, liberty at upset and defeat. Liberty must consider honestly how to have freedom from forces beyond its control. Go vote to the plastic polls. Economy over ecology spells all your woes. The anti-establishment movement outlived the Pheno-Nixian, is operating on it with great conviction. The new Charlie factory is in government. And big money stolen people, hippies that shave their heads a crew cut above the rest. They stole classified files, made it look like the Russians did it, rushed in to it, hypnotizing government into l'état. Charles had a plan for after he was long gone, to get back the Fed what it did to the con. Portrait of the government family gone wrong. Charlie's unpublished song plays on. The government pulls a Charles Manson on us all, makes it look like Charlie killed the hippie movement, brainwashes and conditions us all. Fascism through capitalism demands productivity, our Bayet craft fray. Liberty demands freedom from fascism, a slow murder till you're in the grave. I win your hearts and minds with brainwash and lies. Give your children amphetamines, another infanticide of teenage lives. They'll plausibly deny our very lives with your hearts and minds by programming, conditioning, and lies. Deist ex machina. Flash me your tithes and assumptions. Recite the 10 reprimandments of the burning bush. Burn and rub the ashes of the Trump Bible on your broom. Cut me out a splinter to lay on. May the matriarchy and the patriarchy be long gone. Cut out of nature's womb, I wander this plastic tomb. I have no tits, I have no ass, alone I screw, just tithes and assumptions. Titters and donkeys being done doggy style, loneliness is out on trial. All the while crows up the craw, natural law arresting human law. The culture body arrest, rested at the wrist, nature to attest. Handcuffed to an industrial revolution, the blood you can't forget. Testify for the future children born aborted into it. I'm on the Atkins diet, blood for carbs. I'm a chaos phoenix, reborn again, program militant. SOG, SOB, later, sexy. CIA, MIA, Russian liquid ass sets. Putin, but won't put out. Biden, my time till Russian demise. With attacks on the principles of the principal. The principal, the principal. Attack on the principles of the principal. And school's out for summer. Can't find my Berlin wallet. And I'm bored of the patriarch testes ballet. Attempting to work in vain, worse than dead today. Fucked over so many times, bayed. Call for the second coming, better than alive tomorrow. Have no tears to cry this sorrow. Stupidity ever dumbing, my life at borrow. Parched to swallow dumbness, Berlin wallows. In the forest of the bushes, the bit tit bush burns the 10 reprimandments. One suck of that tit is the greatest fall. On domesticate Amazons of no Bezos, be my hose. Is it Valentine's Day without a martyr? As a wild tiger to pounce on the prey of love to sex, little cougars and girls, big, TV snow melting from wanting gazes. The skiing rain can't contain on a square television, the round forest vision. Give me tribal orgy in the midst of a nation of stupidity. Burnt red paper clips and ashes, it's all that's left, oh so tragic, enigmatic, a reprimandment of the already dead. Survive to live due to plausible deniability, holding hostage history to a later release and reprieve, when the eve of broken glass is long since past. America's reflection we see, stained glass tainted by a flood of blood, Nazi citizens forever on the list, held by the statue of liberty, was nothing to the statutes of stupidity and all ignominy. Burnt red paper clips and ashes, all that's left to see. Oh, so tragic, the magic of the Native American dream, laugh comedic. The bacon getters have gotten theirs. Us boar getters have the horns of plenty to bear. She lays beautiful, stoned, and precise upon the bed with an unsmoked bong, held endearingly in hand, while shadows dance and spew, thick haze fog of cannabis smoke on the bed. Beside, she makes love to the stoner sorority of the Hollywood of the unconscious, shadows of smoke playing across her smoking hot body, and long unsmoked lungs. The smoke breathes her, but she doesn't breathe the smoke. My anima is making love to my shadow. The conscious self is tied to the corner, gazing with third-person sight, the love-making of darkness and femininity amidst the proclaimed light of patriarchy. Man sin from legs shaven, hair go down the drain. Anima animates the cadaver animal. Spirit of earthly haven, feminine conqueror of patriarch errors. Conquistador quiescent, deliquescent effervescence, belligerent evanescence, heaving heaven onto death row, one last supple supper of greed express, to bleed an abortion of future generations. Hell is out for the eternity of life. Nuclear fallout gets out, fear, radioactive decay, jailbreak. Debbie Debical Horacle with a third eye monocle, seeing it clear. Pop a kiss to the apocalypse, eclipsed my own moon. Woman within walking out, without a fuck to give. Burned the closet down. Full Monty, full disclosure, danger, dared truth. Mobile armies of metaphors seducing like whores. Similes without hostilities. Woman within on a period. Give it a bar and exclamation with the proclamation of pain, transformation. Dancing with the spirits, got so many ghosts as my groupies, making love to me. TP of my inner triangle draws all the sexy spirits to my yard. Ghostiality like bestiality is the bestiary of evil. Between the diaphanous thighs, the one who made the fleshly crazy is driven crazy by desire beyond birthday suitors. They'll kill you if you're progress. They'll take the loophole if it's profit. They'll have while others have not, even though there's plenty to go around. They'll keep while others weep, making money off others' blood, hard work, and leave everyone in the mud. We are the loud-mouthed minority of the first world nations, speaking louder than a majority. Minority rules with minority rights and majority privileges. The silent generations will be silenced by the mere threat of violence. From the loud-mouthed minority, we may be a minority, but we are majors in violence. To your majors of peace, minors at violence. Our violence is loud enough. Our big money is expensive enough. Your little soul is beaten if you find our voices too loud. Then our guns will be found to be louder. Big brother with big money, little sister with little soul, hides how big it is on the other side. She gonna grow to see the patriarchy go. Little soul gonna grow bigger than big money could know. Big cougar with big soul beats the ghost of big money past. Big money doesn't know. Big money ain't got no soul, nor body no more. Big soul ain't got no money. Still got a body not bought at a store. Big money ain't got no soul, nor body no more. Big soul ain't got no money. Still got a body not bought at a store. Metal out with your cock ring in, and your rock and roll out with the metal in. Wounded ripe with the scar star of black hole decay, the pop xenocide of the ziggies I wasn't jiggy with, the metal genocide from the rock and roll suicide of stardust. Stars burst to black holes, yet we may walk only on their fame. Personable personas feign, artistic fascism, fascist artists reign, de facto beyond ruler or ruled. The mask of a demagogue for a dialogue of populist cherry repute, the politics of misery and the politeness of plastic ecstasy. Out of the little horn grew the big horn, and big horn is shorn. Big horn is shorn. The mask of a demagogue for a dialogue of populist cherry repute. The politics of misery and the politeness of plastic ecstasy. I found her at the found and lost, and we got lost past this separation of worlds and never came back. All the good Christians go to heaven. All the evil pagans go to heathen heaven. All the beyond good and evils go beyond heaven or hell. Oh, capitalism, my capitalism, not my captain, not my captain. Abraham Lincoln of lies, Papa Capitalism, and the donkey, and leave the elephant in the room. Abraham Lincoln of lies, Papa Capitalism, and the donkey, and leave the elephant in the room. Drug-free politicians demanded the people drug test your politician today. For days on the news, cocaine found in the White House, suspense at how it got there. On reporting that it was due to the cocaine Contra scandal. A war on drugs in Ukraine, they use dogs to help fight wars and use a war to fight drugs as a way to fight groups of civilians demanding needed progressive change. Group think and feel, entertainment be your focus rather than education. The more pervasive the group think and feel, the greater the stupidity. The more pervasive the group think and feel, the greater the stupidity. Like a Manson Grove killifish, dreamed the dream before, making the wish. Those wishes granted, many of the dreams transformed. Hermaphroditic self-assemination, without assassination, with the spirit of Antichrist superstar, black hole self, sex impregnation, selfing and outcrossing, pseudocopulating, male neonate, the will to power and Ubermensch fate, the virgin copulation for a virgin nation. Old-fashioned fascism has made it this way. What will come to take it away? In foreplay, she was like a camel. She bared and bore much across a long distance of patient, disciplined desire. In the course of intercourse, she was like a lion, eating your morals alive for sapiosexual breakfast, hungry as a kitten with polemic smitten. In orgasm, she was like a child. In wonder, as if it were the Big Bang itself she were ecstatically witnessing.